Hello again. I'm going to start. Oh boy. I'm going to start 7th grade. I know you guys have some questions about the little arguments mini essay that I was going to have you do. Essentially, the plan for that was that I was going to have you guys get into groups and then fill out an outline for an argument essay using the prompt that I provided. You don't have to write the whole essay. I was just going to have you guys do the outline and then present it to the class. But because we cannot do that, what I want you to do is fill out the outline on the paper. You can do that I just uploaded a Google Doc outline that you can save to your Google Drive and you can edit, or you can just write it on notebook paper. So it doesn't really matter. I mean, whatever you want to do is fine, but it's pretty simple. So the argument essay is very similar to other essays. Really the only difference is the counter argument, which I will go over pretty briefly about what you guys need to do. So if I was going to do this assignment at my house, I would start and I would just title it argument outline. I think this might be backwards. It's fine. Argument outline. The first thing in all essays is your introduction. So I would just do number 1, intro. And then the first thing that you need in your introduction is your hook, of course. You need your background info. So the background info is really just explaining the argument. So what is it that you're talking about? You know that the prompt should students be able to grade their teachers, so you need to give a little background information. Like it has been, talked about that students should be able to grade their teachers just like teachers grade their students, blah, blah, blah. So give a little background information. And then you need to do your thesis. Now the thesis for an argument paper is very simple. Typically it's a yes or no. So the prompt asks you, should students be able to grade their teachers? So you just have to say yes, students should be able to grade their teachers, or no, students should not be able to grade their teachers. So you just need to, pick one. So you've got your little intro outline right here. You'll just write your hook, background, and then you'll write out your thesis statement. So pretty simple. For your first 2 body paragraphs, you'll do your support. You'll have your 2 reasons why you think that students should or should not. So it's pretty simple. I know we've done that before. So your first 2 body paragraphs, you'll just do reasons why. I do need you guys to use a quote. So you can either use the link that I provided to the New York Times article, and you can use the comments in the article. So you can do that. Or if you want to do your own research, you're more than welcome, but that is not required. I just want you guys to practice looking for evidence and putting it in your paper. So you don't have to, we already did research, so you don't have to do extra research, but if you want to, that's fine. So then you'll have number 2, which is body number 1, and then your third section will be body number 2. The big one that I definitely want to talk about is the counter argument. This is the part of the lesson where I would say, have you written a counter argument before? And some of you would be like, yeah, and some of you would be like, no. So this is where I would ask that, but I can't do that. So number 4 is your counter argument. So counter arguments are different than regular body paragraphs for argument essay. So in your counter argument, you are giving the counter, the opposite of your thesis, and disproving it. So let's say that for my thesis, I selected yes, students should be able to grade their teachers. I would start off my counter argument with the counter of yes, which, what's the counter of yes? No. So for my counter argument, I would start it out with no. I would say no, some people believe that students shouldn't grade their teachers. Some people believe that students should not do that. That would be the beginning of my counter argument. And then I would also be finding a quote for that side of the argument from my source. Now, very critical. The only way a counter argument actually works to help you is if you disprove it in this paragraph, which is what it's for. So you'd say, some people might say students shouldn't grade their teachers. One of the reasons provided by this New York Times article says, quote, students are young and naive and they don't understand what it's like to be a teacher, end quote, citation, right? So maybe that's my quote. So in my counter argument, I have to disprove that. So maybe I would say something like, However, even though students might be young and naive, there is no substitute for their actual experience at that moment. So, students should grade their teacher regardless of their age and experience because they are getting the actual instruction and they're the only people that really know what their teacher is like. Boom. So I gave you my alternate, my counter argument, and then I refuted it. Refute, which means I fought against it. So I said, here is another argument you might hear, but here's why it's wrong. And that's what counter arguments are for. So here is why this is wrong. So that is really the big thing in your counter argument, is that first you have to present your counter. So for me, no is my counter because yes is what I wanted to say. And then I'll say my quote, I'll find it from my source. And then after this, you have to say, here is why this is wrong. So here is why these people are wrong. And here's why I am right. So you have to make sure your counter argument, you're using it to refute this argument. That's really the only way that, it works, that it helps support your claim. Tell me in the comments if you have ever written a counter argument before, and if you haven't, you can message me and I can help you with it, or you can send it to me and I can read it over for you. So if you guys want to type your outline, you can share it with me. You know how to do that. You can share it with me and then I'd be happy to look at it. Or if you just want to do it on notebook paper, you can always send me a picture of it on your phone on Remind. I get them as text messages to my phone. So you can always send me a picture of it on paper and then I can look at it that way. So it's up to you, however you prefer. I won't be collecting this until after we return to school. If we are not returning to school on schedule, then I'll just have you guys take a picture or share it with me and I'll just put your completion grade in that way. So no worries about that. I really hope this helped with the counter argument portion, and I hope you understand what to do. You do not have to print anything. You do not have to turn anything in online. You have to just write an outline, answering the prompt, and that's it. That's really all I need you to do. Oh my God, Watson's licking up all the gunk in the corner of the wall, which I hate. Stop that. But that's really all that you need to do for the argument outline. For DGP, you guys have the handout, you know how to do it. Or if you don't have the handout, again, you can just write the sentence on notebook paper, and then you can just fill it out with like a different colored pen or something. So not like anything exciting. That's all I believe that we're doing for this week. I have the notes on counter argument, so make sure that you take a look at those on Schoology for the PowerPoint. I also handed out the outline on Thursday if you were present in class that day. If you didn't bring your stuff home, it's fine. Like, you can just look at everything on Schoology. I would not worry. If you're having trouble accessing Schoology, just send me a remind, like a text from your,
Sure.
Some of you are texting me right now, but just send me a remind on your phone if you need any assistance, and then I can text you back that way. I really hope this was helpful. Again, you can leave comments. Let me know if you've written a counter argument or if you've never written one before, and I'll make sure I kind of get to you guys if you need help. But otherwise, good luck. Remember, not expecting perfection. I just want you guys to try it and to help continue your learning. So as long as you're trying, I'm happy with that. So I'll upload another video tomorrow answering any of your questions, but have a great day, and I will see you later.